let's create a page that users can visit and hire our services as a developer. So we'll call this page Hire Me, and in the component that we make for it, we're going to have a div title, the text Hire Me, p tags saying you can hire me at, and then include a set of a tags, and the href using mail to will reference our email address, so people wanting to hire us can reach out to us. So we'll export our Hire Me component and take a look in the browser. We'll go to our Hire Me route so we can see our title, our text, but we have no way of getting back to the home page other than manually changing the URL. So let's add a dedicated layout component that will inject a header and a footer in every page that we've created. So in order to create a component, it's not a page, we can add a components folder to the root of our project. And let's call this component layout.js. For layout, I'll immediately export it. It will consist of a div, a header, and a footer. And for now, we'll just give header, the text header, and footer, the text footer. So we want this layout component, when we export it, to wrap the content of each of our pages. So let's say for the home page we just have the title home. What this will allow us to do is, using the props object that we get in layout, we can get access to the children, meaning the content that's between the opening and closing tag of this custom layout component. So we can dynamically put the home title right here with the children prop that we're using object destructuring to get from the props object. So okay, let's use this in our index page, see how this works. We'll import the layout component from the components folder. We'll grab layout and replace the parent div with it. We'll save all of our files and check it out in the browser. You can see our home page now has header text and the footer text. For the header, we want to add some links so we can navigate around our app, but before we do that, we can also pass the title that we have for each of the pages, for example home or hire me, whatever. You can pass its h1 text to layout as a prop that we're going to call title. So we'll pass home to title for the home page, and then layout we can destructure the title prop that we're getting from the props object, and then do the work of interpolating the title between a set of h1 tags. Okay, so now within the header we want to include some links. So each link will have a set of a tags within it. Of course, the a tags won't have the href attribute on it. The link component itself will, and we'll need to make sure that we're importing the link component from next/link. So our first link will go to the root route, and the text for it will be home. So we'll copy that, paste it a couple more times. Text for about will be about, and the path will be about, and then we have the hire me route, the text hire me. Okay, so now that we've done both of those things, passing down the title prop and adding the links to our header, let's add the layout component to each of our pages. So we'll remove the h1 for hire me and pass down the title as a prop. For about, import layout. Remove the title, pass it down, and we'll save all of our files. And now we have some common navigation, and instead of just including the text footer for the footer, we can just add, say, a copyright logo, and we can get the current year using the date constructor and the method get full year. Okay, so now we have some navigation, but it still doesn't look very good. So how do we add some styles? How do we add some CSS style rules to our app? Well, we can apply the style rules in our layout component, since here we basically have access to everything in the pages, as well as the header and the footer. So to add some styles, we just can include a set of style tags, and we can make use of what's known as Styled JSX, a package which allows us to write styles within a given component that are scoped to that component. So scope styles will allow us to write CSS rules that only apply to the component that we're in and nothing else. And to do so, we'll add our style tags, we'll add the JSX keyword, a set of curly braces, and then some backticks. And then we can just start writing some normal CSS just like we would in any style sheet. So we'll center everything in our app by giving the parent div a class name of root. And for the root rule, we'll use flexbox. We'll center everything on both axes with justify content center and align item center, and we'll set the flex direction to column. Then the header will take up the full width of the page. We'll also use flexbox here, but here we want to use the space around setting for justify content to give each of the links some space around them. Some padding set to 1em. Font size, we'll bump it up to 1.2 rems. The background, the header will be indigo. The header links, which we'll select this way, will have a color of dark gray, and we'll remove the underline with text decoration set to none. When we hover over these links, we'll set the font weight to bold, and we'll change the color to a lighter shade of gray with light gray. And then the footer will have some padding too to separate it from the content in our pages. Now, if we want to add some global styles, say we want to modify the body element, we can do so again with some style tags using the JSX keyword, but we add the global keyword in front of it. And again, include our curly braces, our backticks. We'll select the body element. We'll zero out the margin. Font size will move up to 110%. And the background will be a light gray color, the X code F0, F0, F0. If we look at the styles now in our app, we can see our header is spaced out, our links in the header are spaced out, and everything within each of our pages is centered on both axes.